Welcome to Fuelcast, your go-to space for inspiring, engaging, and uplifting conversations, connecting those who want to make a difference in the lives of our children and communities. Together, we are fueling Georgia's future, one conversation at a time. It's now time for Fuelcast Georgia.
So welcome back to Fuelcast. I am your host, Rolandria Boyce, but you can call me Ro.
And I'm your co-host, Anna Coleman, and today we are kicking off Season 5 of Fuelcast.
As Anna mentioned, yes, we are kicking off a new season with two incredible guests. Today, we are joined by Coffee High School nutrition professional and School Nutrition Association Employee of the Year, Javante J.J. Johnson, and Coffee County School Nutrition Director, Don Lewis. J.J. and Don, welcome to Fuelcast.
Thank you. We're excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. So we're going to jump in with our first question. We like to start each conversation with a chance for our listeners to get to know our guest better. So JJ, I'll start with you. Where'd you grow up, and tell us what that was like and how it influenced you today?
Grew up in Douglas, Georgia, Coffee County. It influenced me in a good city, and I love the environment, the people here.
Awesome. So Don, tell us about you. Where'd you grow up, and what was it like, and how did it influence you today?
I did not grow up here. My dad was a troubleshooter for a large manufacturing company, so I grew up everywhere. I lived in New York, in South Carolina, in Georgia. So my childhood was very diverse in big city, farm, everywhere. So mine's a little more diverse than JJ. And I really think that influenced me to really focus on my future as an adult and the career. And I've been here in rural Georgia since my late 20s. So that was my influence, was to travel and then figure out I wanted to be in a small town.
Awesome. Wonderful to hear.
So you both work in school nutrition. So JJ, can you tell us a little bit about what you do in school nutrition? What is your job like?
Yes, in school nutrition, I go down the hall, serve the kids breakfast, do it with a smile on my face to brighten up their day, and just make things better. And I also do the laundry, sweep mop the floor, help wash dishes, and I serve the kids lunch.
So you do a little bit of everything. It sounds like you're a very valuable employee to have with all of those skills and that positive attitude that you have added in there. That's awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Dawn, what do you do in school nutrition? You're the school nutrition director of Coffee County, so you also have a lot of different jobs that you take on, but what is that like?
It varies day to day. I will tell you, with the staffing shortages that we had, and JJ can be my testimony to that. I do work in schools a lot. Anytime there's a staffing shortage, my central office team goes and works in the kitchens. So I have washed dishes with JJ and I've served breakfast with JJ. So my role is very dependent on what day it is and what's going on. I may be in a school, or I may be in the central office working on daily director duties, but we are in schools a lot. So that really is a big influence for my team, is that they do see me a lot in the schools.
And that's a wonderful example of, servant leadership and making sure that everyone who works in your school nutrition team knows that you are a team and you're willing to, to help where needed, and everyone work together for that final goal. So we love to hear that.
Yes, you two truly sound like a dynamic duo. So it is always interesting to see the paths people take to get to school nutrition. So Don, can you share with me a bit about your journey and how you came to work in school nutrition?
Okay, my journey began way before I arrived here. I grew up in the restaurant industry. My family had 2 restaurants. So I was in the food industry for years and said I would never go in the food industry. I ended up as a teacher at the high school here, and in family and consumer science, taught food. So that's kind of where my background landed me. And then one day the school nutrition director was retiring and approached me, and she knew my restaurant background, and she said, "You really need to apply for this job." So that is how I ended up in school nutrition. And I do love it. The background that I had in the restaurant industry greatly helped me in school nutrition. Even though they're two very different worlds, I did know the food industry side of it. So that's how I ended up here.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome to hear those connections. Do you have a favorite thing that you love about school nutrition?
I love the family environment, the team environment. Even, from the state level, the association, we're actively involved in Georgia School Nutrition Association. It's a family. But I can tell you in school nutrition, the family environment is amazing. And I love that part of it, that it's a very team approach.
Yes, I'd agree. That's general consensus across the board, is that family environment where we actually can share, no hoarding of ideas or innovation. We share across the board. JJ, what about you? Do you have a favorite thing about school nutrition?
Yes, ma'am. My favorite thing about school nutrition is I love to see the kids walk by every day. I brighten up their day and their spirits.
Yes.
And I just make it enjoyable. I want to see their smiling face again.
It's evident that customer service is a part of how you function in school nutrition. You really want to see the kids happy, and that's coming out in your responses to all of these questions. So we appreciate that from you. From both of you, Dawn, I'll go with you first. Would you recommend this career to others? I have a sneaking suspicion the answer will be yes, but I want to hear it from you.
It is. And I will tell you, I'm in year 36, but the one thing is JJ coming onto our team has just renewed my sense of how important school nutrition is to the community. Awesome. And JJ's attitude and his just perseverance to go through what he's been through to arrive with us renewed my just ambition to make school nutrition as a career accessible to all. Yes. We've actually become champions in our community for employees with disabilities. And JJ is really what set the pace for that. Yeah. He just came on board through an accident with a conversation I had with his grandmother. And since then, people in the community walk up, and I had one the other day say, "Oh, wait, you're the school nutrition director. I need to talk to you about my child." So JJ has really championed us to really think outside the box, to encourage more people to be in the career and show the positives of what this career can do for you personally.
Wonderful to hear. JJ, it seems like you are a true influencer.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
So JJ, would you recommend the school nutrition career to other people?
Yes, ma'am.
That's wonderful. And Dawn, that really is an impactful mission that you have. I know so many of us have friends and family members who would benefit from, being in that type of situation. And I think it's really admirable. It really touches me to hear you say that. So thank you for that. And thank you, JJ, for being an amazing example and keeping that positive attitude. I can see why the students smile when you walk by, because it's hard not to smile talking to you.
Absolutely. And JJ, you might help Dawn get another 36 years in Coffee County.
I don't know about that.
So because of some of these awesome things that we've talked about, JJ, you were recently named Employee of the Year for Georgia School Nutrition Association and the National School Nutrition Association. So what was your reaction to hearing that you were selected for that award?
I was joyful, surprised, and I was overwhelmingly shocking. I wasn't expecting it.
It's just, I don't know what I would say either. How do you react to something like that? But joyful, it seems like, is a common thread through all of that. And so, Dawn, what was your reaction, and what has the reaction been in Douglas and in Coffee County overall to JJ receiving this honor?
We went through an AR last year, and JJ does serve breakfast every day, and he runs our vegetable line. So when our area consultant was here and watched JJ on his line, she was just amazed. She said, "I'm just so impressed with this young man and his attitude and his interaction with students. You really need to write up a best practices," because she did, obviously, we told her that he was autistic and that we put our manager through the autism speech training, and he impressed her. And I'm like, why don't I just fill out this application and see what happens? And it just touched my heart, the people that reached out to us and said, oh my gosh, wait, that works. He's working. Everything's good. Y'all are doing great. And just to see the reaction of the community just wrap their arms around JJ and root for JJ when he got State Employee of the Year. And then when we found out that he got national, I will tell you this, I was at home one afternoon, late in the afternoon, and the national office called me, and I sat down and cried. I just cried like a baby because JJ is just overcome so many obstacles, and he's just so proud of this accomplishment. And it has really boosted our community to realize that we are a family and that we can overcome all things as a family. So JJ has made an impact, not only in the school. The high school was elated when they found out that JJ was National Employee of the Year. We had a celebration, didn't we, JJ, at the high school? And we're about to have another one in front of the entire school system Friday. But it just really is just great to see the recognition that school nutrition is getting in a positive way. You know, sometimes we don't get the positive, but just to see that people are very proud of JJ and what he's accomplished in it has given them the motivation, even our regular employees, to say, oh, wait, I can do that.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And, you know, if anybody listening is interested in what Dawn is talking about, the Autism Speaks program and having school nutrition being an accessible career, we actually have an episode with Josh Cobb from Autism Speaks. So make sure to check that episode out.
So when you told your grandma that you won the award, you know, what did you tell her about how you actually won the award?
I told her I won the award because I do it with a smile on my face. I make the kids happy and just be a hard worker. It's been a good help in the cafeteria and just being a help where I'm needed in the lunchroom.
Yes.
And JJ's grandmother told me this. JJ has been raised by his grandmother. And when she asked him the question, and she shared this with me, when she asked JJ how he won the award, his response is something that we need other employees across the state, across the country to think about, because his response is amazing. And when she called me and she said, you know, I asked JJ why he won that award, and she told me his response, and I was like, wow, if I could duplicate that in other places. I mean, it's very heartfelt. And as y'all can see, I'm very compassionate about our program and our diversity in employment. We have several autistic individuals now that work for us, and they're very successful, and they're very task driven, and they come to work and they're dedicated. So they become role models for other employees who may not have a disability, but they see that, oh, wait, JJ's coming and giving 110%. You know, I might be kind of embarrassed that I'm not.
And carrying that joyous, positive attitude is influencing even the students and your peers. So kudos to you, JJ.
Thank you.
Yeah, when I'm having a bad day, and if you wonder where I'm at the high school, just so I can see that positive smile from JJ and make my day better.
We find JJ for joy. So we talked a lot about JJ's influence in Coffee County and you all's partnership. Don, I want to hear from you. What do you consider to be a quality school meal? We know that's the basis of how we promote our program and what we want children to have access to. I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts about, or what do you consider a quality school meal, and how does that impact your work each day?
One of the things that we've seen over the years is the change in student preferences. And I will say, since COVID, and even after, you know, our county was the hardest hit county in Georgia with the hurricane last year, our students are more focused on speed scratch meals. And so for me, a quality meal is something that they can see that we put our heart and soul into to prepare. And we tried a prefab lasagna a few years ago, and we quickly found out that was not the option. We had to go back to our homemade lasagna. And the fresh fruits and vegetables. We've also had a big promotion in locally and, to use Georgia grown products and locally grown products. We feature the farmers on our serving line. We have a farmer that graduated from Coffee High that grows all of our satsumas. Okay. So producing those fresh quality ingredients is a big difference. The parents are excited to see that we're using local produce, that we're using Georgia grown chicken, that we're doing all the fun things that you would do at home if you were going to the grocery store and purchasing food, that you're using the same ingredients at the school that the kids can get at home if it's a home cooked meal.
Yes. We have several episodes that highlight the preferences of our Georgia students, and so many of the pieces that you've mentioned in terms of, fresh options, colorful options, having diverse, they do care what meals look like, and scratch meals do have a stronger appeal to children. I appreciate you bringing out those points because that is something that our students desire.
And Ro, I'll tell you, I had a parent that really kind of shocked me. She stopped me one day and she was talking about our menus. And she said, we're so busy after school, and these are parents who, could afford to and quite capable of making meals from scratch. But she said, we're so busy from the time our children get out of school until their late sports athletic practices that your meal is their home cooked meal at school. And it kind of we really readjusted our menu after that conversation to make sure that we are trying to include more of those home style meals, because parents are even looking to us for that option because they're so busy after school.
Yes. So, that's further evidence that, I don't know if you remember the topic from Directors Conference last year about your work matters, you do matter. So it does, if a parent can come and share those sentiments about, oh, your nutritious meal is the meal that my kid is getting due to, other obligations, that's significant. So your work is not unnoticed and it's valuable, especially in your communities.
So we have a new school year coming up, and I want to know, JJ, what are you most excited about for starting another school year working in school nutrition?
I'm excited about more definitely is seeing the kids smile again, they face, seeing my workers, and also just be happy just to serve again and just to be in the atmosphere where I can just brighten up everybody's day and make them more happy every day. with a smile on my face.
Yes.
That is wonderful. And, you want to see all of your coworkers, and it really, from the whole thread of everything that y'all have been saying, is that there's a lot of heart in Coffee County. There's a lot of heart that runs through everything that y'all do. And that's a wonderful atmosphere that you've built. So I know they're all excited to see you again, too, in the upcoming school year.
Yes, ma'am.
JJ didn't take a break this summer, by the way. He is also on our summer meals team. So JJ works year round.
He's very passionate. We appreciate that about you, JJ. So we heard that JJ's enthusiasm and positivity has had a noticeable impact on breakfast participation, which saw an increase of over 100 meals on his very first day serving. That's big. So Don, can you tell us about, how JJ's passion, which we just mentioned, and positivity has spread to Coffee County students and other school nutrition professionals?
I'll have to tell you, I was a little nervous when I saw that number. I'm like, something's wrong at the high school. So I immediately went to the high school to see what was going on at breakfast for those numbers to jump that much. But JJ greets everybody. He's in a breakfast cart down the hallway where the car riders come in, and he doesn't hesitate to speak to every single student walking in. And he says, hey, don't forget breakfast. JJ is just so focused on customer service and interacting with every customer, whether they're a customer or not. And when he tells them, and with that big smile says, hey, don't forget breakfast, they typically come back and get breakfast. So I think that's been the positive, and that's one of the things we've highlighted with other employees that maybe don't have those customer skills that we'd like, is that JJ's smile and his compassion radiate to a student who may not otherwise want to pick up a breakfast or a lunch, but they just feel like they want to see his face again. They want to get that smile, that have a great day, have a blessed day, whatever JJ, and he, tells every student that. So I think that's been a big impact for us, is to take what JJ does and replicate it in others, with other employees.
Yeah, that truly speaks to the impacts of a positive influence. So JJ, like, what inspires you to be so positive?
Just having joy on the inside,
Mm-hmm.
just feeling great every day, and just having a big smile on my face, encouraging students to have a better day, even though they're not going well. I'm here to make it more brighter for them.
Awesome, JJ. Keep doing that. You are influencing so many children to eat well and have a great day at school, because everyone knows school nutrition is a part of the learning day. So as a result of how you engage with students, they're wanting to consume more meals and have a positive day. So you're really influencing children on a daily basis.
Thank you.
So Dawn, you mentioned a lot of the things y'all are doing in Coffee County with, making meals from scratch, incorporating those Georgia grown and locally grown items. And so with that, Coffee County has received several Georgia Tray of the Week recognitions over the past 5 years, which is amazing. So what has your staff and community reaction been to participating and winning, being very successful in the Georgia Tray of the Week campaign?
I didn't expect this to be a result or an impact with Georgia Tray of the Week, but we have won several awards in our community. No matter what school, they tend to vote for whatever when we publicize it. But one of the things that I've noticed, and I'm really proud of that Georgia Tray of the Week program across the state, not just for Coffee County, is that it's featuring all these beautiful trays. And when we do get negative, because I really, social media scares me a lot, because parents can post a lot of things and some of them are not very nice. I've noticed that when people do post negative things about our menus, that the community goes after them. I don't even say, I stay out of the conversation. And they're like, no, that is what they're serving. And teachers send us pictures of trays. Some of those trays are not pictures that we've taken, but it may be a teacher, a staff member, posting and saying, hey, I had this great meal today. So it has really increased our positive PR through the Georgia Tray of the Week. And it's also increased the people that defend us, that are not even in school nutrition, by saying, yes, that's what they're serving. Yes, that's their tray. That's not a staged picture. So I've been very proud of Georgia Tray of the Week, and it's a great PR tool for us in the districts to be able to say, yeah, we actually have a wall in our district office that has all of our Georgia Tray of the Weeks and framed, and for people to walk in. And even when people walk in that aren't associated with us and they see that Georgia Tray of the Week wall, they stop and they stare and they're like, oh my gosh. And so it really is a positive PR piece for across the state.
Mm-hmm. It shows the positive expansion of what people even think a school meal could be. People who haven't been in a school in a long time, they don't know the kinds of things that you all are doing every day that are absolutely incredible. And it shows how proud your community must be of you to go into the comments, to vote and to defend. And what better way to show what's really going on than to have real people who are so invested and so proud that they're willing to do that. So that's amazing. And so we have one last question, Dawn. We always want to give you a chance to speak directly to the Georgia and Coffee County students or parents who might be listening to this. Do you have anything you want to say to them? And why do you think parents and students should make school meals a part of their child's school day?
Right now, with grocery prices the way they are and time and the busy parents, we're making sure that your child is getting that nutritious and quality meal. So let us take that burden over, because we are focused on what the kids are eating. We're interviewing kids. We've really stepped up our game in the quality part of the meal. And we want parents to just let us take over for them, because it is a lot easier when your child eats breakfast and lunch at school. That's less you have to worry about in the morning and at night, because you don't have to pack a lunch. You don't have to worry about getting up for early for breakfast, because it can be done right here in our schools. And across Georgia, all directors, we're all focused on producing that quality meal. And we're very proud of what we do with our meals in Georgia. We really want parents to feel that same, the same way that, yes, my child can go to school and get a high quality meal and eat it at a low cost. For our district, we're CEP. So district wide. So every kid gets breakfast and lunch at no charge.
And that's definitely something you should be proud of.
Anything else you want to say, JJ?
No, ma'am, I'm just surprised. I'm still overwhelmed. I'm still joyful of this opportunity. Thank y'all.
Awesome. It's no coincidence that you bring joy to your district and your name begins with a J. I think that's what the J is really for, the joy.
Yes,
I did not think of it that way, Rose. But I think you're on to something there. JJ is definitely
double joy.
Good. Yes.
Double joy. Yes.
And
so,
this smile is every day, all day.
I can imagine the influence that you have in your district. So we thank both of you all for joining us today. JJ specifically, we appreciate you sharing that smile and the positive influence that you have in the district, both for the students, your peers, and for the administration and staff in Coffee County, your commitment to excellence, and also the power and influence that you possess. Keep doing what you're doing, okay?
Thank you.
And Don, thank you for your leadership, your servant leadership in the district, and your ability to open and expand your capacity in Coffee County and include having a diverse workforce inclusive of people like JJ. We appreciate you, and even your influence in the community as well. We also appreciate your commitment to the service of quality school meals. So thank you, Don, and thank you, JJ, for being a part of our podcast today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. It was an honor.
Yes. Thank you for the honor and opportunity.
Want to learn more about school meals in Georgia? Here are 4 easy ways to stay in the know. Learn what's on the menu in your student's school. Follow your local school nutrition team on their social media accounts. Go eat a meal with your student in their school cafeteria. And as always, connect with us, the Georgia Department of Education School Nutrition Division, to know what's going on statewide. You can connect with us via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn with the hashtag FuelingGA. You can also email us at fuelingga@godot.org. Until next time, the Georgia Department of Education School Nutrition Division is fueling Georgia's future with excellence, one quality school meal at a time.
Thanks for joining us on Fuelcast Georgia. Want more of Georgia School Nutrition? Connect with us on social media using hashtag FuelingGA and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We're here every month with new engaging guests and inspiring stories. Have questions or ideas for future topics? Email us at fuelingga@godot.org. Until next time, the Georgia Department of Education School Nutrition Division is fueling Georgia's future with excellence, one school meal at a time.